What's going on, everybody? I'll wait a little bit if anybody shows up. If not, I'm going to go ahead and just start talking. So yeah, maybe a couple people will show up. Hope everybody's doing well. There's Pup running around. Get Pup. Hey, what's up, man? You like the weather here tonight? Is it raining down in Atlanta? It's pouring here, man. Where y'all staying? Are y'all close to the airport or closer to underground Atlanta where you're going to the concert? Midtown. Gotcha. You have to be careful, man, driving in Atlanta when it rains. People do not know how to drive in Atlanta or really Georgia if it's raining. So, all right. So it says 3 people. So I'm going to go ahead and start and see what I'm just trying to get everybody's opinion on this new COPPA thing that's going around. So if you're not familiar with what's going on, YouTube lost a lawsuit against the FTC. I think they had to pay out, I mean, what was it, 150 million or some crazy amount. And basically what they were doing was going after YouTube for creating content that it didn't target children, but it was trying to get data, on people, and that included children, which is against the law. And so they were sued and lost. And so now they've changed everything. Now these changes don't kick in until, I guess, January 1st, 2020. But you already will see, if you upload content, you will see changes that are coming already. You have to mark your videos, whether there are targeted for kids or not. And, that sounds kind of easy. Well, I'll just check that my videos aren't for children. Because if you mark your video as, the target audience is children, you lose everything. You lose comments. People can't search for your videos. Of course, if I'm not monetized, but if you have a channel that's monetized, that will go away. So if you do make content that's for children, you won't be able to make any money off those videos. People won't be able to search to find your videos. And so pretty much people that make those kind of videos, there's really, if they were here for the money, they're not going to be any money for monetization or ads or anything, because the ads are kind of what got YouTube in trouble when they were targeting children. So let's say you say, you know what, I'm just going to mark my videos as not intended for children. That way, there's no problem. If you do that and they find out and they determine that your video contained material that's targeted at children, they can fine you $45,000 per video. So let's say you do a video like toys or comic books. Everybody knows I do all kinds of stuff, but the ones I'm kind of concerned about would be toys or comics. But let's say I talk about, adult-oriented comics, or, normally I have a mix. I have some stuff that, are for kids or adults. And then I have some that I collect that are like the DC Black labels that are just for adults. And so if I have that kind of content and I mark that it's not intended for children, and they determine that it is, hey, what's up, Thomas? So if they determine that, hey, no, there's stuff in your video that's targeted at children, I could be fined $45,000 fine for that one video. And it's not my call. So it's crazy right now. I don't know how they're going to determine, music. Even if I do a music upload, if I'm talking about certain bands that, like, for instance, with me, like Death Cab for Cutie, that appeals to all kinds of different age groups. If they determine that there's something in that video that could be targeted towards children, and I think they define the children as under 13, again, I could be fined. And they are going to be actively looking for those type videos because that's what got them in trouble. So it's a no-win situation for a lot of people. If you do market, hey, all right. So all the comic books I talked about, I know I thought about that. So, and you've got to go back and thanks for bringing that up. You've got to go back and you've got to go through every one of your videos and mark whether it's that video is targeted at children or not. Again, if they determine it is, and you mark that it wasn't, then you lose everything on that channel, comments and all that other stuff, and you could possibly be sued by the FTC. So let me check the chat here. And I thought about saying fuck, and I'm sure a lot of people are just going to start cussing more now. But man, it'll be weird if I'm talking about comic books and I'm like, like fucking Batman, fuck, fucking Spider-Man, fuck. What's up, brutal one? Yeah, and so I don't, I've never monetized my damn channel, but I know that there's people that make a living off of it, But it's not even just for monetizing. It's let's say you don't want to monetize, you just don't want to do a video about comics or music. YouTube has the right to come in and say, no, yes, exactly, Pluto. It's, a lot of people put a lot of work into their videos. And again, I don't monetize, but a lot of people, that's their livelihood. And if they're making videos about, say, collectible toys, I don't see how they can market it's not intended for children. So it's like I say, like it's no win. So if I went and marked all my comic book videos as being targeted at children, all right, then all the comments and everything goes away. And then on my future videos, there will be no commenting, likes. You won't even be able to search for that video. It won't be available in searches or anything. And YouTube can still put ads on it. This is a big one that kind of pissed me off. YouTube can still put ads on your video if it's targeted at children, but they can't target the children. It's targeted ads, and then there's another kind of ad. Targeted ads would be based on, what videos are the kids watching? Let's send these ads to them based on, their viewing habits. So they can't be targeted, but they can still put a video or ads on people's videos, in which, they could still do ads. It just can't be targeted at the kids. This shit don't make sense. And then somebody told me today, hey, why don't you go to a BitChute? But I can't go to BitChute. I mean, I can, but BitChute was started for all the white nationalist racists who got kicked off of YouTube. So I don't really want to go over there. And then you have the problem of this COPPA thing, this the trouble that YouTube got in. Is it going to affect other channels now? Is it just YouTube, or do other channels that you might consider going to instead of YouTube, are they going to get hit by this? So, man, this is just crazy. It's just, and everybody's like, nobody knows what to do. Like, the only people that's safe are people that really just make adult-oriented content, which, I don't know. I would be accepted. Where, Thomas? Are you talking about BitChute? Yeah, I don't want to go to BitChute, man. I don't want anything to do with those people, man. I want nothing to do with them. If that's your thing, man, whatever. It's not for me. I don't want to go to BitChute. Like I say, It's a haven for white nationalists. That's why it was started. And so I'm not going there. I'm not into that. I love everybody. So, but I don't, and I feel really bad for, like, I've looked at some channels that are really, really well known. Pixel Guy, I don't know if anybody knows him, but yeah, I don't. I don't want to go there because I'm too smart. So, but I'm not smart. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no bit shoot for me, man. No, but I don't know. And like I say, if somebody, let's say somebody comes in and creates an alternative platform, they're still going to have to abide by the COPPA thing. So are they going to do what YouTube did? It's like, I don't know. And so we've got what, a month and a half before this goes into effect. And if you don't mark your channel targeted, you can do one of two things. If you don't know, you can mark your channel as being targeted at kids or not, but YouTube still reserves the right to go into your individual videos and say, this one's for kids and you didn't mark it that way. And if you say, you know, if you decide to mark not safe for kids, and the FTC comes and finds some content in there that thinks targeted at children, they could fine you $45,000. You believe that? They could come after you individually for $45,000 some odd dollars. I'm like, so if I do a video and half the comic books are adult and the other half are, you know, like Batman and stuff, that's kind of geared, you know, towards any audience, are they going to say, okay, well, in half your video, you targeted children, so here's a $45,000 fine? And apparently they're going to be aggressive about this. That's another part. It's not like this is going to, you know, they're going to make these changes and they're not really going to be enforced. It's all a bunch of, you know, smoke and mirrors. No, this is something that's supposedly going to be heavily monitored, both by YouTube and the FTC. And so, and it's YouTube's fault too, by the way. They had a chance to make a lot of changes before, because a lot of the ads were targeting children. People were targeting kids and not getting their parents' permission, which is, you know, an issue. So if you send an ad out that's oriented towards, you know, someone under 13 and you didn't get their parents' permission, you could get in trouble. That was before. Well, that's why YouTube got in trouble. They were sending out, they were okaying these ads to be targeted at kids and get their information. Also, a lot of people brought attention to a lot of content that was on YouTube for sexual predators. And YouTube never did anything about it. So YouTube created this mess. It's not me and you, the content creators. You know, I mean, you know, if you were doing something, you know, making videos like that targeted kids before, then, you know, yeah, you could be part of the problem. But YouTube, the reason why they got fined is because they didn't do more to not target kids in their ads and to really, really look for that content that a lot of sexual predators were looking at. So now they find themselves, you know, behind the 8 ball. And because they weren't more proactive now, you know, when they could probably come in and use a scalpel and make some changes, they just come in with a hacksaw. And so, and it's not a joke or anything. And I know a lot of people are kind of going to blow it off, but I'm telling you, if you don't go through and mark your videos or mark your or pay attention to the new content that you put out, you can get yourself in some real trouble. And, you know, maybe it'll be one of those things where the FTC and YouTube really, really looks hard for a while, and then over time it changes. But I don't know. I don't know what to do. So what do you guys and gals think? I mean, are you going to stay? And are you going to, yeah, I know what you mean, Tom. Are you going to stay? Are you going to try and find an alternative platform? Are you going to stay here and just, hey, what's up, Eric? We're talking about this new COPPA, YouTube COPPA crap. I mean, I guess, like Chris was saying, you know, I could show comic books. I mean, like every comic book say the word fuck. All right, here's Batman, fuck. And yeah, I've been listening to some Metallica, and because some 10-year-old kid might listen to them, you know, I can't say it's targeted at children, so I'd have to go, oh, and there's Metallica and Justice for All. Fuck. Oh, where you been, 9496 Toll? This thing has come on like a heat wave, man, in the last 3 or 4 days. People are like already deleting all their old videos. People have already said they're shutting down. People are, man, and it's all right. So it's first, all right. So I'm going to go back and just highlight this again. So for everybody that came in after I talked about this, so YouTube got sued by the FTC and lost. Woo, and they had to pay like, I want to say like 150 million. And the reason why they got sued is by the FTC is because of they had content on YouTube and they were putting out ads that targeted children. And they consider children to be 13 and under. And YouTube had these these ads, and they would appear in videos or before videos. You know what I'm talking about. And they would target these kids. So like, let's say, a 12-year-old goes on YouTube, and every time they go on, they look up Legos. Eventually they start seeing ads for Legos. YouTube is targeting these kids with these specific products, and that's illegal because they're under 13. You have to have their parents' permission. And so YouTube got sued for that and lost. In response to that lawsuit and losing, they now have just have this new draconian plan for channel creators, for content creators. You have to either mark your entire channel as targeted at children or not targeted at children, or you got to do your individual videos. And the problem that's come into it is, let's say that my example was, let's say I do a comic book video, and some of my comic books are for adults, but some of them are kids might read, someone under 13. Hey, what's up, Epic Zombie Killer? So if they determine that something in my video was targeted at children and I didn't mark it as such, I could be sued by the FTC for $45,000 per video. If I do mark it for children, there's no comments, no likes. You can't search for that video. It won't be put in the algorithm, so people won't be able to find it unless they specifically go to your channel and go through your videos. And so if I did that and I just said every one of my, just to be safe, let's say I marked all of mine are, for kids. And if I did that, every one of my videos, you wouldn't be able to comment on, search for, or anything. It'd just be, up to an individual person to kind of find that video. And like I say, if you mark it, oh no, this isn't for kids, but the FTC or YouTube finds out there's content in there that was targeted, and it doesn't have to be the whole video. It could be part of the video. So like I say, if I did, let's say, if I did some music and, some of the albums they could say could be targeted at kids, but some of the albums weren't because they were albums in there that could be targeted at kids, that's considered targeted at children. It's the craziest thing. Yeah, Eric, I think you would be okay because, let's be honest here, you cuss a lot more than I do, but and that's another thing. Right? I could just cuss at every video and then say it's not for kids. But that was the example I was using earlier. Like, okay, I'm gonna pull up each comic and just cuss, and you can't just cuss you got to do like every comic, because if one of the comics is for kids and you don't say fuck, they can say, oh no, you should, that's targeted at children. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so, and like I said earlier, man, they are heavily, this isn't something that's got, like just bluff. They're really going to enforce this. Now it's not going to start till, I guess, January 1st, 2020. And like I said, you've got to go through all your old videos and then keep in mind future. And if you're going to, the biggest thing is like, like people that collect toys, but let's say somebody collects toys from the 80s or wrestlers, that's not really targeted at children. Most of those top collectors are going to be adults, like your old He-Mans from the 80s, G.I. Joes and stuff. The kids today aren't collecting that really. You're targeting people that grew up in the 80s that are nostalgic for that. I marked this not for children because I knew I was going to cuss. So I knew I was going to cuss in this one. So I'm like, if they see this, yeah. And Eric, you can do that. But just make sure. And I don't think you'll have a problem. I don't think you're going to be in that group of people that's going to have a problem. But I just saw this Metal Down Under, man. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. I'm going to give it more time. Hopefully they're going to change some of the shit. But getting back to Eric, just make sure that you cuss in every one of your videos. Even if you show something that, I don't think you'll have a problem. Okay, so when you, and I'm trying to remember, let's just say you got an old video and you want to go back and check it. It's in the, I can't remember the names of maybe Metal Down Under. I'll try to do another video to show where all that stuff's at. Again, you've got till 2020 before they start enforcing this. I'm enjoying The Walking Dead season 10. I think it's been great since last season. So Epic Zombie Killer, man, I'm still liking it. Yeah, I didn't want to say it, Eric, but yeah, man, you cuss enough to where I don't think you got to worry. But let's say you did a video, and let's say you did a comic. I know you get comics. Let's say you do a comic video. That's where you kind of have to think. All right, am I going to mark this for kids or not? I guess even if you show like a kid's comic, just make sure you cuss in it. That's going to be the whole way around this damn thing is people are going to have to cuss a lot in their videos so they don't get in trouble. We'll be like, all right, I got this fucking He-Man fucking figure from last year. I don't know. Yes. And people are already going back and just deleting their back catalog. And I'm talking about people that have hundreds of thousands of followers. Pixel Man. I don't know if anybody watches him, but I watch him because he collects a lot of toys in the 80s that I enjoy. And like He-Man and G.I. Joe and stuff. But he didn't know what he's got to do. Because, like I say, his whole channel's toys, but it's not kids. It's not toys that any kids are collecting anymore. It's adults going back and collecting. Like he collects like wrestlers from the 80s, like Jake the Snake. No kids are collecting that now. But if they rule that video, because it has toys in it, is targeted at kids, he could be fined $45,000. Yeah, and I don't know what people are going to do that. Like, it kind of sucks for me and people like me that show more than just a certain thing. Like, okay, I rip heavy metal. I don't think they would come in and say that should have been, marked for children. I don't think that's be a problem, but my comic book videos is the ones that I worry about. Like, I got to watch the whole video and see if I cuss or something. Otherwise, do I got to mark that as safe for kids because it's all comics? I think it's Pixel Man. I just watched his video. This is kind of what got me talking about it. What if you made a video? What's Uncharted? I don't know what that is. I don't know what Uncharted is. You have to tell me about that. To get back to you, Metal Down Under, if you're still here, there is a place already in there where you go, but I can't remember exactly how to tell you to get in there. But like I say, you've got time to kind of, if you want to go through them. And I agree with you. A video game by Naughty Dog. What if you made a video on Uncharted? A video game by Naughty Dog. I don't know enough about that to tell you. Are you saying, is it kids content or I guess if there's cursing or like violence in it, I wouldn't mark it as targeted for kids myself. But the problem, Eric, is who's going to be the judge of which of your videos are targeted at children and which aren't? You know, some are going to be easy. Like if you do videos about documentaries about mass murderers, all right, it's easy. But if you have a mix of things on your channel, who's going to say which of these are like targeted for kids and which aren't? It's going to be the FTC or YouTube. It's not you really that makes that decision. You've got to go check it, whether you're targeting children in that video or not. You've got to decide it, but they're going to go through and audit or whatever you want to say some of these videos. And if they find out that you marked it the wrong way, you're subject to a fine by the freaking FTC, man. $45,000 per video. So there's a lot of big channels like just confused as heck. And I don't know what I'm going to do personally. Dan, if y'all know Dan Powers, if you, hey Christian, where you been, man? Yeah, I would mark that as definitely kid-related. Epic Zombie Killer. That one, you want to mark that as for kids, Dan. Christian, man, LSU Georgia SEC championship. We need to hook up on that and do another wager. If I would assume they're going to look primarily with highs, not necessarily. Eric, what? And again, this could all be changed. What I'm reading is they will audit randomly videos. So this day they're going to audit 25,000 videos and go through them, you know, or whatever. Yeah, man. And like I was talking about earlier, Dan Powers, he's the first one that I've seen that's committed to staying or going. And I hope he changes, don't get me wrong, but he's adamant right now that he's wanting to go, that he's worried about the COPPA. Dan shows mostly cassettes. He's, you know, CDs too. But the question's going to come down is, when I was 10, I was listening to Iron Maiden. So who's going to say it's kid friendly or not? I would guess that he could probably mark his not kid friendly. He'd have to go back through all of them or just do his whole channel as not kid friendly. But it's who's it up to decide whether that video you did is kid friendly or not. Yeah, and I love Dan. I hate to see him go. You got a lot going on, Christian, I know, man. But don't you forget LSU, Georgia, SEC championship. Don't back out on me, man. I got to get my revenge for last was it last year or the year before? Well, I'm getting old. So I would definitely encourage every one of you to look up. YouTube's got a video out. It's this lady, man, and boy, she's being an ass about it. Just watch the video. It's YouTube's explanation of you know what's going on. But they don't mention the fact that YouTube got themselves in trouble. I mentioned this earlier. It's not the content creators that got YouTube in trouble with the FTC. They're not the reason why YouTube got fined $150 million, right? It was YouTube targeting kids with ads on kid-friendly videos. And it was also YouTube not doing enough to stop child sex predators from having what they considered to be like light, soft child porn or some crap. And so that's what it has nothing to do with what me or you or anyone else, well, you know, unless you were doing like child porn, soft porn, whatever the hell that is. Your regular creators, this is not our fault. It's YouTube's fault for targeted ads at kids and not doing enough to keep child predators off of certain videos. So, but now we got to pay. And it's like I mentioned earlier, they could have done this in steps and you know, kind of thought this out a little bit more. But it's like the lawsuit was in September, and the next thing you know, it's like instead of using a scalpel, they just come in with a hacksaw and just start changing everything. And now people are like, have no idea what to do. Yeah, I mean, I was so glad to see y'all beat Alabama, man. Christian, man, that was a great game. But yeah, I'm so sick of Alabama. Even if y'all beat us, man, at least it's not Alabama beating us again. At least it's in the championship. At least it's somebody new beating us. But like I say, I encourage everybody to read up. It's COPPA is the COPPA COPPA is the law that YouTube was found to have violated. And there's several videos you can look up on how to mark your videos. And then there's a video from some lady. It pretty much sounds like she's blaming us for this, and it's not. It's YouTube's fault. But she explains kind of the process and a little bit better than I. Again, there's still a month and a half away from this going into effect. So, yeah, that Halloween podcast was sweet. Hey, everybody, if you get a chance, go to Eric Bauer's channel. Help me out, Eric. Nah, poo. Do you know what's funny? Eric, let me know your the channel with the podcast. And everybody go, when he puts it up, everybody go check it out. It was a great Halloween podcast. Now, to get to what you just said, Toll, there's a YouTube for kids. I don't know if y'all know this. There's a YouTube for kids. Why don't they have some process to where a kid under 13 can only go to YouTube Kids? And then everything else would be 13 and above on regular YouTube. They didn't do that. They have a YouTube for kids. I don't even know what the hell, like, I don't know how to log on to YouTube for kids. I never see them talk about the channel, but there's a YouTube for kids, but they're not utilizing that resource. They're not dumping all their kid-friendly stuff on there and saying, okay, parents, it's up to you to monitor your freaking kids. And that's another thing that pisses me off about this is a lot of this is going to come down to, like, let's say a kid is 12 years old, goes on your channel, watches a video, and they make some kind of complaint to YouTube or the FTC. And the FTC comes in and says, oh, you should have marked this channel this way or that way, and you didn't, and this 12-year-old kid watched it. They can fine you again for $45,000. Instead of putting it on the parents to watch your kids and to know what your kids are doing. That's the part that I can't believe I let that out early. That's the part that pisses me the fuck off is, okay, now in my videos, I'm having to be judge and jury and parent into what I put into my damn content. So some 12-year-old kid doesn't wander on and watch it, and the FTC find out, and they come and look at it, and they determine, oh, you had some kid-friendly stuff in there, so you should have marked it kid-friendly, because now they could have been targeted by ads. That's the whole thing, is some kid going on one of your videos and getting a targeted ad. That's illegal if they're 13 or under, because he didn't get the parents' permission to target them with the ad. Like it's my fault. High defamation. Thank you. Oh, all right. So just if you're not subbed, Eric Bauer, and also High Defamation is his podcast. Really, really good. That Halloween was good. The only problem, by the way, with that last podcast was no docking, and I think I might have mentioned that to you somewhere along the way that I felt your podcast was a little incomplete because of the lack of docking Dream Warriors. But hopefully you'll fix that in the future. So, anybody got any questions? I know I've rambled on and haven't let you guys and gals, I think it's all guys, that talk. No, don't you talk about my Dream Warriors. Love that song. Is anybody, I can answer some of it. Some of it, it's still so new. I don't know what to tell you. YouTube, like I said, is putting out some videos. There's some really good videos being put out by content creators, and a lot of different, like some in the toy community I mentioned in comics and stuff. But the majority of it is like, we don't know what to do yet. Yeah. Check out right below you, Eric. Killer song. You're in the minority on this, Dream Warriors. Next year, high definition Halloween special, there's going to be Dream Warriors for me and for all the millions of fans of Dokken. Hey, Chris, are you still here? What lurks on Channel X? I was going to ask you something and I forgot. Yeah, I agree. Eric Bauer, he has poor taste in 80s. God, it doesn't want to be called hair metal, or what would you call it? Can I call it glam and nobody get mad? I don't even listen to a lot of glam, but man, I love me some Dokken. Beast from the East. Back for the Attack. I'm telling you, Eric, you're playing it. You're going to do it for me. I know you've got a big heart. I know you sound all like cussy and crusty and on your videos, man. But I know you got it. I know next year you won't be able to not put it in there. I know. I got you. I've got 3 new albums I'll be doing. Damn, what? If I just show album covers and albums, but don't do a needle drop, what is that? I mean, it's heavy metal. So you'd think I could mark that not safe for kids, but could a 12-year-old legitimately listen to Carcass? Like I said, I was 10 listening to Iron Maiden. I was 5 listening to Iron Maiden. It's 1980. 1979, 1980. My brother had it. And I loved it. I didn't know what, really what it was, but he'd play it all the time, and I'd like, yeah. Judas Priest. So you can't really say heavy metal's not for kids. I don't know. Why not? What, Thomas? Is that going to be worldwide death metal, or just U.S. or what? Yeah, exactly. If you're 12 years old, you can listen to AC/DC. If I show them AC/DC in a video or do a vinyl rip of AC/DC, I got to mark that not for kids, right? Or do I? I don't know. I don't know what to mark that as. Worldwide, yeah. I think you should do, just for me, the UK band, that Beyond Earache, the bands from the UK that weren't on Earache Records. Exactly, Toe. We were kids. Well, I won't say all of us, but a lot of us, especially if you had like an older brother who was in the metal, were listening to metal before we were 13. So where do you put a video about AC/DC? Yeah, Fastway, that was good. Did you just say Jeff Blauser? Christian Griot, Raging Cajun. You get 1 sticky sock for that. My dog drugged this in here. This is for you. 1 sticky sock. Yeah, exactly, Thomas. A lot of us started at a young age with metal, and then comics. So if you do a video about comic books from, say, when you were a kid, and you show, like, let's just say Batman and Star Wars, I guess you'd have to say target that at kids, but you're not going to be able to get comments, likes. Nobody's going to be able to find that video unless they go directly to your channel and pull it up. Jeff Blauser, man, he made like an all-star gang once. He had like 280 one year. I think he might have more than 12 home runs one year. Yeah. We used to have Madeline Hard. Yeah. I did this. It's kind of a funny story, but it's kind of only funny to me probably, but I'm still going to tell it. Oh, thanks, man. Have it. They're in the big 4 of the new wave of thrash, in my opinion. Oh yeah, you do drink. I guess that's another thing too. If you drink in your video, maybe. I don't think they want that. I copyright music all the time. I don't care about that one. You just got to find an album that all the rights have expired on. That's all. Whoa, oh, I was going to tell my story. All right, so when I was a kid, well, I haven't heard Lost Society in years. They were on a soundtrack. No, that's not Lost Society. I'm thinking of something else. There was a soundtrack they were on, but I think it was something else. Oh, back to my story. All right, so my school bus had a tape player. So this would have been early 80s, tape player. And the bus driver, if you brought a tape, he would play it for a little bit. And he'd take turns. Like if, let's say 3 or 4 kids brought tapes, he'd take turns. So usually I was bringing like Cyndi Lauper and stuff. And then my brother got me into Maiden. So it was it Killers? Anyway, I brought that tape on the bus. And remember, this is, I'm 6 or 7 at this point. Yeah, I was born in 74. So I've been 81-ish. And so, you know, we're listening to all this, you know, kid stuff. Well, I don't guess it would have been Cyndi Lauper. That was before her. But, you know, poppy kind of stuff, maybe some Eagles or whatever. And they put in Iron Maiden. All the kids would refuse to sit near me. So awesome, man. Yeah, that's another thing, too. I guess if you drink a beer in your video, you can talk about whatever you want. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I wonder if you could put a beer sign behind you. We gotta think outside the box, fellas. Lost Society. Tell me about them, because I'm confusing them with somebody else. I can't remember. Hey, it's Metal Sexologian. What's up, man? Fandango. ZZ Top. Yeah, what year were you born, Christian? I just turned 45. Thrash metal from Sweden. I had to check them out. I was thinking they were somebody else. Sam Hain vinyl. I could buy Sam Hain vinyl, but it would be bootlegs. I cannot afford the real stuff. Yeah, man. My brother got me into Killers. I'll never forget it. And back then, metal was kind of weird. Like it ain't like thrash where, you know, you listen to thrash and death. You know, back 81, you listen to like the Eagles and ZZ Top and Iron Maiden. You ever remember those sampler albums they put out? You know, like they would have all these cheesy bands on it, and then it'd be like Anthrax. You'd be like, what the hell? I'm not going to buy this whole album just for Anthrax. 75. I turned 44. Oh, I think I missed your birthday then. I guess so. Man, you're not that much younger than me, punk. And no, 1988 was the greatest album of all time. 1979, there's a lot of bad stuff going on, man. Like the world was in chaos at 79. No way. Now that's another band a band that I did not discover through my brother, because my brother capped it at Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. That was his. He got into a Metallica, Master of Puppets, but his threshold was Master of Puppets. Like no heavier than that. But yeah, through my friends there weren't many of us, because just so everybody knows, if you don't know, I live in very, very bump up Egypt, Georgia country Bible Belt. There was like 5 or 6 of us in a group and in that group you had some that listen to metal, some that listen to punk, and then some listen to all of it. But hey, what's up, Chaos and Comics? But yeah, man, I had to slowly, and what's weird was Injustice for All was it for me. That's what, just no more. There was no more glam metal for me, man. After Justice for All, it was all thrash and up. If that makes sense, because the next album, and at the time, I was really only listening to like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and stuff like that. And then I got Injustice for All, and I was like, oh my God, I'm buying more heavy stuff. And the next heavy album I bought was Corner, No More Color. Don't come in here talking about you and Eric, man. Eric with his docking and you and your Justice for All. Swear to God. I wished I had Gary Glitter posters. Remember when he was on the Jock Jam soundtrack? I wonder if they took him off of that after he got convicted of. I used to have a wife. Oh, Dockin! Do you like Dream Warriors? Be honest, too. '76, Eric. So I'm older than you. God, I'm old. You shut the fuck up there. Man, that's bullshit. Oh, no. You say Dreaming? Oh, no. Thank you. It is. It's not only the greatest thrash album of all time, it's the greatest album of all time. But that Dream Warrior sucks. Fuck that, man. This is definitely not kid friendly. Fact. Exactly. But I don't think people understand how many lives changed in 1988 when Injustice for All. Fucking, I can't tell you what. Everything changed. I had Brittany Fox, and I'm not making fun of glam. It just, I wanted heavier. If you listen to it, I'm not knocking you. I still listen to some bands, but when I got Injustice for All, and I found out that the thrash guys hated the glam guys, I got rid of all my glam, dude. It's just like, I remember trading Brittany Fox, self-titled, for Among the Living. That's how I heard Anthrax, Among the Living. I don't even know what Deguelu is. If in 2019, I'm telling you, you're fucking nuts. Oh God, no. Let me tell you that album. So Metallica, my whole room was Metallica posters, including the Metallica flags on the ceiling. I had the tacks, and I had, God, you could not see my wall. It was all posters. Now I had, other bands, but for the most part, it's Metallica. Like I'd have a little Anthrax section and a Suicidal section, Obituary or whatever. But 75% of it was Injustice for All. And the Black Album came out. Needless to say, I took down a lot of posters and had to do a lot of caulk. The Black Album broke my heart. I did a video on my old channel about how 1991, I can't even remember how it was titled, but it got a pretty good amount of views for me. I don't get a lot of views. I got like 1,000-something subs, but only 50 people watch my videos. I think people don't know what to watch. I got some people watch the comic, some people that watch the metal. Sometimes I'll do a metal rip, like a vinyl rip, and get, 200, 300 views. But anyway, what it's about. Oh, man, yeah, I'm not a 9. Matter of fact, the only Metallica song, I don't think I've ever told this to anybody in the VC or anybody, maybe in general. The only song I like by Metallica after Injustice for All is Hero of the Day. It had this weird timing and vocal style. I don't know. I had that single. It's just, they started butchering covers. Oh man. We're not going to get on that because it's like, if I had to pick the best song on the Black Album, I would probably pick Of Wolf and Man. Is that the name of it? I think that Ride the Lightning is great. Don't say Anthrax did some killer covers, man. Oh, me and you're gonna tussle. We're gonna tussle, Aaron. Oh no. Name one. God Save the Queen was a great cover. I don't care what you say. If you consider their duet with Public Enemy, Bring the Noise, that's a great cover if you consider that a cover. Duet. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is probably in my top 5 metal covers of all time. What? Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is a great cover. It's the reason why I wanted I'm the Man. I didn't want the I'm the Man. I always thought that was crap. But the Sabbath Bloody Sabbath cover I thought was outstanding. You didn't like it? God Save the Queen? I thought they did great. They did do there was one cover I didn't care for. Parasite. I didn't like that one. But what's the one Protest and Survive? Oh yeah, I forgot I'm 18. I forgot that one. Yeah, I don't know that I would count that as a good one. No. Parasite is on the Attack of the Killer Bees, I think. Aaron is just trying to get me stirred up. You get the sock of shame. You get the sock of shame. You didn't like Got the Time? God, I forgot about that one. That's actually a really good cover, man. Yeah, don't get me started on Megadeth covers. Cold Cold Sweat's good. It's the only song worth having on what's Super Collider. It's the only song worth having off that whole album. But God, these boots, their version of the Sex Pistols. Oh man, yeah, that we can agree on. Megadeth is a worse cover band than Anthrax, and I'll be the first to say it. If we just count the 80s, well, I won't say that. I would say some of the songs off of Garage Inc. or whatever. I think Metallica is the greatest metal cover band of all time. They've got some ones that suck, but damn, Garage Days Revisited is like just the apex of covers, man. These Boots was not okay. Eric Bauer, come on. You did not like these Boots. Oh, that's so terrible. You need to watch Grumpy Old Men. You be good, man. I'm about to wrap up. Yeah, I started talking about one thing, and now it's like an hour later, and I'm not even talking about what the damn video was for. But that's fine, man. That's kind of how I like it. Grumpy Old Men. The first one, you gonna watch the original? Hey, say hey, Maggie. Come here and say hey. Hey, Maggie. You pay. All right. Just don't fart. God, you're just taking farts. Well, I appreciate that. What are you going to go listen to, Chris? By the way, Chris, I shouted you out in my last contest video. I don't know if you saw it. I think it has 38 views, so you might not have seen it. Chances are pretty high you didn't see it. I appreciate you, Metal Down Under, man. If we end up leaving because of this shit, or even if I do, but y'all stay, man, I would miss the fuck out of people, man. I left one time, and Aaron and Eric and they all know this. Good night, Tom. They all know that I left and I missed people so bad I had to come back. And that's the truth. You just want to talk shit about Anthrax. Do you own what's the I'm drawing a blank on the EP Armed and Dangerous? I need to get that one. I've got the 10-inch with their debut, but I want to get the original Armed and Dangerous. Yeah, crazy. All right. Spreading the disease was the hardest one to get for me. It wasn't even the most expensive. It was just the hardest to find in a good enough condition to spend money on. I didn't know that. I've seen Anthrax 3 times, and I'll be honest with you. Besides one song, it was the same set 3 times. The only thing they changed was what is that song? Evil Twin. They did Evil Twin once, and Fight Them Till You Can't. They would switch those around. Otherwise, the same set, same order, and everything. So November 8th, though, that's a good year to see it. All right, later, Toll, man. Appreciate you coming in. I fucking hate the Bush era. God, and I'm such in the minority on here. So thank you. I hate and I love Armored Saint. I love John Bush, Jeb Bush. Somebody's calling me at midnight almost. Don't they know I'm a hermit? Fuck off. But yeah, I hate the Bush era Anthrax band, but I do like Armored Saint when he was in it. But he was not a fit. I don't. They down-tuned, and everything became on his albums. It's like everything became muddy, like the sound. It was a terrible mix. March of the Saints, killer, man. Their last album, I got on CD, and that's pretty good. They had some duds though, but Bush and Anthrax did not. Is not. Yeah, Raising Fear is good. Yeah, did you have a problem with the mix, Nathan? Because when I hear it, it's like a wall of sound. It's like everything's in the same. I don't know how to describe it, man. It's like there's no. Everything's in the same channel. There's no separation. Everything's condensed and muddied. I remember back when Bush. No, this would have been before. But did y'all know Bush actually tried out for Metallica? Because they were going to not have James sing. They were going to have a singer. And at the time, Armored Saint was actually drawing bigger crowds than Metallica. So he's like, nah. Yep. Yeah, they went in. They had a couple more too. Have you ever seen the guys that tried out for bass after Jason left? God, there was like there's a documentary about it. Hey, I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way now. That whole I just skipped the Bush era, and then when one of the albums he records old Anthrax songs. Oh, it's so bad. Bush the band. We're talking about Bush the singer who was in Anthrax, but was originally in Armored Saint. I say Jeb Bush, but I'm just kidding. It's John. And he's back in Armored Saint now. But I think his bandmates are kind of pissed at him. Oh, but yeah, but to get back what I was talking about a second ago. there's like a 30-minute documentary on all the people that tried out for bass for Metallica after Jason left. Les Claypool actually tried out twice. Did you know that? When Cliff died, he tried out, and then he tried out when Jason left. Hey, what would he do in Metallica? You know? Like, could you imagine Les Claypool in Metallica? Like what that would sound like? It might sound kind of good maybe, but it would definitely be offbeat. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no way, and that you bring up a good point. There's no way they'd be in time because Lars would be fucked up and he would be off time and Les would be over and like, no, I'm doing like 8/4 to 16/8, and Lars would be, I don't know how to do that anymore. It's crazy. Have you ever watched if you've seen Metallica live either in person or on the YouTube, the old YouTube when it was okay. When they do Battery, Lars can't play the breakdown, so they skip it. You don't believe me? Watch a recent video of them doing Battery. I still have my Cliff 'em all. Keep it PG. Yeah, man. Remember, everybody, cuss. Cuss in all your videos and you won't have a problem. Or drink beer. Or vodka. Or smoke weed. Or whatever it is. Keep it legal. Oh. I think, you know who sounded good in Metallica? I always thought. Could you imagine? God, what's his name? Thomas Wayne? Not the Thomas Wayne that was here earlier. Is that? No. Wayne. What's his name? The old lead singer in Middle Church. Have fun, man. Paul McCartney. Shut up, Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie, you hadn't stirred up any controversy lately, man. See you, buddy. Who was the old Metal Church singer? David Wayne. I always thought he would sound good in Metallica. No shit. Lil Wayne. Yeah. Matt, you crazy, man. What you gonna do about this COPPA? Funk off. Have you been keeping up with this shit? I actually don't think that's a bad idea that we kind of talked about earlier. Like get a beer sign and put it behind you in all your videos. They're definitely, I don't think they would look at that and say, oh, this is targeted for kids. Even if you were showing off freaking My Little Pony, if you had Schlitz Malt Liquor sign behind you, I don't think they'd be like, oh, we can't, he's definitely targeting kids with this video. I think you could get away with that. Like you could do like, friggin' what is it? Those little toys that are popular now. People go search for them. Well, yeah, God, I'm so old. I don't know shit about anything going on today that's popular. Yeah, man. Yeah. I think you're kind of in the same boat as me when it comes to the comic books, though. If you showed comics, I would add cussing to it or a beer sign or something, because I think comics could definitely be something that they could just come in and say, all right, this is targeting kids. So you mark this as an adult. If you find a Schlitz Malt Liquor sign, if I find a Schlitz Malt Liquor sign, I'm going to send it to you. I don't cuss either. Well, I don't say I never cuss. Like I cuss in here because I had to mark this as for adults or not targeted at kids. So I had to make sure I cussed. Isn't that kind of sorry, though, that you've got to go out of your way to make a video to do things in it so kids, it won't seem to appeal to children? There's a lot of people that don't cuss. I don't know what they're going to do, especially if they're showing toys and comics. Just be careful, man, because if you mark it adult and they come and look at it and they say, no, this could appeal to kids, you can get in trouble. It sucks, man. I would like one of two things to happen. Of course, I would like for that law to have some refinements made to where it's like common sense, which, as everybody fucking knows, there's no common sense in our government anymore. There's none. Or a brand new platform that it's like I was telling people earlier, there's that one platform, and I mentioned it earlier. Now I can't think of it. People are like, well, I'm going to go there. But the reason it exists is to host alt-right and white nationalists that were kicked off of YouTube. So I'm definitely not going there. Matt's my boy, man. Me and him are like, with comics, me and him are like, psst. Like we send each other kind of like we do with records, Aaron. I do that with Matt with comics, and it's like fucking. I won't say exactly the same thing, but like 90% of what he shows, I'm like, if I don't have it, I'm like, oh, I got to get that. Yeah, he's a really cool dude, man. And what's weird, I told this story before, but I don't know who all seen it. But Funk Off, Matt lives in Ohio. I forget the city you live in, but it's near, what was it, near Fairfield. And so I was in the Army, stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, but I had to have surgery, and they didn't do the surgery at Fort Campbell. I had to go to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So I had surgery, and then I was up there for 2 weeks because I had follow-ups and stuff. And as I started to feel better, I could walk around, and I ended up going to this Fairfield and looking around and buying some books and stuff at this, I thought was just one of the coolest bookstores ever. And it turns out that he lives near that, and that's one of the places he gets his comics at to this day. And I just thought that was cool as hell, man. It's like a small world. That was in that town square in that city, Fairfield. I think I'm saying it right. I hope so. It's like the perfect town square. I'm not kidding you. They got like restaurants and stuff, but they got like newspapers, and they've got books and comics and shit. And like here, I've got our town square has crap. And if you go into this one place, it's called Gold's, and the owner's like 90. He follows you around, and if you lay something down, he'll pick it up and go put it to the cash register and try to make you pay for it. Fairborn. NASA Lewis. Where's that? NASA Lewis. Is that in Ohio? Fairborn. I got to remember. I think I always say Fairfield. In Ohio. Yeah, Fairborn's in Ohio. It's near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. What's the town you live in, Matt? Because you're not in Fairborn, but you're close. Yeah, Springfield. I love that part of the state, man. I remember I had to drive all the way from Kentucky to there, and it's the first time my whole drive was through snow. So I started out in Kentucky with maybe 1 or 2 inches of snow, and it was still snowing. And by the time I got to Ohio, it was the biggest snow I've ever seen. It was crazy. Yeah, up by Dayton. And I never went to Dayton the whole time I was there. Snow is bullshit. Yeah, snow is, but you know what's worse? Ice. There was no ice. It just snowed when I went. I was so lucky, because if it started icing, I would not have had the surgery. You know what's cool? I don't know if you've been, male theologian, to this part of Ohio, but I'm trying to think it's been years. I went there in like 2003, No, I was in Iraq, 2002. You go up over this hill, and there's like a fort. Is it Fort Wayne or some town right before you get into Cincinnati? But you go uphill, and then you come downhill, and the stadium where the Reds play is on the left. Man, I always thought that was the coolest. And it had the river going by it. That was one of my favorite parts of that drive, because to be honest with you, Kentucky, you don't see shit for an hour and a half, maybe. You get to Elizabethton or Elizabethtown or whatever, and then turn and go north. What the hell's Parma? You ever been to Parmesan? I got cheesy jokes. Yeah, in the South, we get ice. And I swear to God, 1 inch ice, half an inch ice, we're paralyzed. Cars literally park themselves on the highway. People get out and like walk home or to a hotel. Well, what's wrong with Parma? I've heard of Cuyahoga County. That always sounds like it would be a town where a lot of cowboys hang out. I don't know. Cuyahoga just sounds cowboy to me. Where's LeBron James from? Is he from Dayton? Jeez, I've done an hour and 11 minutes. I'm kind of proud of myself. I don't think is he from Cleveland? I know he's from Ohio, but I always thought it was like some rope-a-dope town. What big city am I? Jeez. I mean, I'm not. I am 50 minutes east of Atlanta. Yeah, exactly, none. So if you went east from Atlanta and then slightly veered north, like you're going up to North Carolina, I'm about an hour that way. About an hour from Greenville, South Carolina, and 2 hours and 15 minutes from Asheville, because that's where I go to the VA. They have the best VA in the country, so I go up there. So that's 2 hours. If you know where that is, Asheville, North Carolina. Akron, is that where he's from? Dude, I can't watch basketball. I used to love basketball, man, but golly. Whew. Asheville's beautiful. If you ever come to Asheville, you let me know. I'll come meet you. Anybody, because I love that town. I want to retire in Asheville, and that's where I want to live. Yeah, we've talked about that. What was it? Elbert County. I had to look it up though, because I never heard of it. What is your problem? What? My dogs are staring at me like, dude, if you move there, we'll start a commune. It'll be like a heavy metal comic book commune. Elberton, that's right. I'll come meet up with you. Oh, you never been to Asheville? Oh, that's what we should do, man. Would you go sit down? Growly McGrowlerson? Has anyone had a boxer before? They're the noisiest damn thing. Dude, you imagine if Matt came down and Aaron, Metal Theologian, sorry. I know y'all don't know each other that well. So Funk Off, Metal Theologian, and me. And anyone else. There's 6 people supposedly still here listening to me yak. Vinyl Richie, I know. I don't think Vinyl Richie would make it, though, because he's in Cali. But, yeah, if we all met in Asheville one weekend, man, that would be cool as hell. And we can make a video that's not kid-friendly and put it on YouTube. Exactly. Here's hey, Matt, I think if Metal Theologian Aaron comes along, though, I think if he gets a little bit of in him, you know what I mean? I think he becomes like, would you hush? I'm trying to video. I think he becomes one of them people that's like analyzes you. You know what I mean? Brent, where you been, Brent? Would you go lay down? Quit that. What is your deal? Are you jealous? Are you jealous of my other dogs? Sorry, y'all. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. But yeah, I think metal theologian, if he had about, not drunk, you know, but like, we'll say it sounds like her belly or her farts, but I think about like 11 beers. You know, it's not like just shit face, but you know, good buzz. You know, I think he'd start analyzing you. You ever had those people that when they get around you, man, they get some beer, they're like, you know what? I bet you're a fan of like turkey bacon. That kind of person. And then they ask you a question about your childhood, but then they forget everything you said, and then they go to bed. For some reason, I think you're that guy. I think you're that guy. 11 beers, you're like, yeah, man. I think maybe like you should have went to college for something else, like I don't know, like marine biology. You'd make a good marine biologist. I'd be like, man, I'm fat as shit. I don't even like getting in the water. You're a Rush fan. That sounds like me. You know, I hadn't been drunk in years, but I was the guy who wanted to go do something. I wanted to go out, not stick around. And my thing was, we had this statue in the town. When I was in college, there was a statue near where we lived of an apple, no lie, on a pedestal. It's called the Big Red Apple. Every time I'd get hammered, I'd want to go spray paint it. And people would have to come get me like halfway there because I'd walk because I wasn't going to drive. But it wasn't that far. It was like 2 miles. And people would have to come get me. They'd be like, hey, go get Farley. He's trying to go spray paint Big Red Apple. He's like halfway there. And they'd have to find somebody who hadn't been drinking. That was me. What's wrong with Rush? Red Barchetta? Bad song, man. Yeah, I never spray painted. And what's weird too is I wanted to spray paint the apple part, but the apple part, the apple is on a pedestal, and it's not huge. It's not like Statue of Liberty, but I'd have to have some kind of cherry picker or something to get up there to spray paint the Big Red Apple. Like I could only reach the base, but I wanted to spray paint the apple. It was the stupidest shit. See, this is the shit you would do if you were drinking, right here. Well, you like Rush. There's nothing wrong with them. I mean, not metaphysically, but on like another plane. And people would be like, yeah, I'd be so drunk you'd make sense. I'd be, yeah, you're right, man. It's like they're like on an astral level. I like Rush, but I ain't a Rush fanatic. You know what I mean? Like, I like specific songs, but there's not one album that I would buy and listen to all the way through, I don't think. The closest that I'd come would be Moving Pictures. I do like a bunch of songs off 2112, but I don't think I'd have to go back and listen to that again. But Moving Pictures, I think, has 4 tunes that I dig. Did Rush not make it to Australia? I think they stopped at Mexico in the Arctic Circle. Like they're in that zone between between Santa Claus and Mexico. They had like fans, and then they never made it across the oceans. Don't talk about Reach the Beach, man. I've got that album, but I got dogs everywhere. I can't get it. But yeah, I know a lot of people like Neil Peart, and don't get me wrong, great drummer. But the damn guitar, I think he doesn't get enough love, man. And that's just me, though. You don't see Rush vinyl? That's weird. What's the best song on Moving Pictures? Red Barchetta. That's the one that's got Tom Sawyer. I like the very last track, which is called Vinyl Signs. It's got like a reggae kind of intro to it. It's kind of weird. And then XYZ. Oh, man, you're going to get me on that one. I like Saved by Zero. Don't fuck. Why would you fuck Neil Peart? What has Neil Peart done to you? What the hell is your problem with Neil Peart? Like that. Like to take it to that level. Like fuck Neil Peart. Fuck that guy. All right. Who wrote lyrics that insulted your intelligence? Neil Peart? Opinions? I have to go back. I hadn't listened to it in forever, man. It was one of those when I got it. I got it and don't turn around. Oh, the commissar's in town. Ow. Yeah. After the fire, I got that album and After the Fire at the same time. And I found out that I don't really like After the Fire except for one song. Who's Nails Lightly? I'm jamming on. Oh, are you Nails Lately? What is Nails? 9 Inch Nails? I'm not hip to the cool shit. Like, no. If it's on that album, I only like. No, I don't know. Do I know Nails? Who are Nails? I know Nile, and I know 9 Inch Nails. What are we talking about? The fucking Nails. I don't know Nails. Is that 80s? I don't remember them. Nails. Whatever. Fucking Mr. Jazz and weird experimental African fucking singer-songwriter stuff that you listen to. Nails from the late 80s. Who the fuck is this Nails? Hell, I guess I've forgotten them because I don't know that I've heard of them. Nails the hardcore. I don't know Nails. Me either. I've not heard of them. I have to check them out. I don't know them. And I like hardcore punk. You don't really show a lot of New York hardcore, do you, Metal Theologian? AKA Aaron. Do you like it? Fucking Nails. No, I didn't think so. I never need to see. I love it, man. Like, God, especially like that late 80s, Agnostic Front, and oh man, Brightside, and all those bands. SOD's a great album. I even like Bigger Than the Devil. A lot of people like only want to get the one, but I like their second album a lot too. Not as much as the first album, but I mean, Speak English or Die is like top 20 album for me. But I don't hate Bigger Than the Devil. You know what band I've decided is just a fucking waste of time? I mean, this band just gets on my fucking nerves. And I don't really understand the appeal at all. And if you like them, man, that's cool. There's bands I like that fucking people are like. I can't like. I got Paula Abdul fucking vinyl. I don't give a shit. But fucking Avenged Sevenfold. Fucking Avenged Sevenfold sucks so much ass, man. It is so bad. I don't. And that's again, if you like them, cool. I hate to knock something that somebody else likes a lot, man. But I got to be honest, man. Like, I don't understand that fucking band and the appeal. They're like, what was the band did it all for the nookie shit? God, I'm getting old and I'm forgetting shit. But they're so annoying as to, even if they made a decent song, I'm so annoyed with them at this point that I couldn't even give that song a chance because I just think they're that fucking sucky. They do try to mix like the fucking Black Album. I've actually talked to people about that before. It's weird you say that. And they're like, damn, did Bob Rock mix fucking every one of their albums? Yeah, I don't understand the appeal, man. Like if they wrote a good song, I'd never know it because I see their faces or like, what I'm saying? Like AVE starts coming up on the screen. I'm like, oh shit, I'm clicking off because I don't want it to say Avenged Sevenfold. Terrible. And really, I only think they were avenged like 3 times, honestly. I think they're kind of exaggerating how much was avenged. Personally, I think they were avenged 3 times, and they're like, "Well, we don't want to call it like avenged 3 times." So they're like, "Oh, okay, let's fucking say it was 7." But instead of saying 7 times, let's say fold, so it sounds cooler. And again, man, if somebody likes them, like I want to make fun of the band, but not somebody that likes them. Because like I say, I listen to some bands that a lot of people think are shit, And if they make fun of them, I don't really care. But some people can, get offended and stuff. So I'm not trying to offend the person, but I gotta be honest, if I think somebody sucks. Nails is Pantera meets grindcore. So what are they like? What do they call that? That crust punk? I gotta check them out when I get off here. Who the hell's Madion? What the fuck are y'all talking about? Y'all throwing out, y'all making me feel old as shit because I don't know Nails and now I don't know. Are you saying Mastodon? Or is that really Medea? Are you going to see a Medea movie? You like Tyler Perry that much? I never heard of. Nails are from California? I don't know. I don't know. I am going to check them out, though. Max Sabbath. Dude, I watch their videos on fucking YouTube. And I enjoy the shit out of them. I don't care. I really, really dig them. By the way, how come he's not been filming with you? Aaron? I don't know what you're saying about. I mean, I know what Justice for All is, but I don't know Justice or I've heard of Daft Punk, but I couldn't tell a song. Oh, he's away at school. I wonder why. Because usually he'd film your videos, and I hadn't seen him in geez, for a while. Is he in college? I don't know how old he is. Awesome, man. Dude, he's getting that experience too, like out of state. Just turned 18. Wow. Getting old, man. I'm gonna end with this. I gotta do some things here at the house, but I was driving down the road And I don't have CD player and all that because, you know, nowadays. Yes, tell him that. And I turned it on some station. I don't want to hear it, Vinyl Richie. You guys all be. By the way, all right, man. We'll tell you, Matt. I enjoy talking to you, brother. Give me a text or something this weekend if you get time. Are you leaving too, Brandon? Or are you talking to Funk Off? Anyway, I'm about to end anyway. So before I go, I wanted to say this. I was driving, and there's this classic station out of South Carolina that I can pick up sometimes. And it plays classic rock. And it plays all the way through the 80s. So they would play, you know, like some light metal and rock, you know, nothing heavy or anything. But damn if it didn't play Pearl Jam. And now the commercial is it used to be classic rock from the 70s from the 70s and 80s. Now it's classic rock from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I was like, fuck. I was like, God. So I was like, no fucking way. Classic rock is now Pearl Jam. Dang. I mean, one day I'm going to, and I don't know that Metallica really will ever be like radio friendly, especially in the South. But I'm so scared one day I'm going to turn like Master of Puppets be on classic rock. And I'll be like, so, all right, man. I had fun, man, talking about all kinds of crazy shit, man. Thanks to everybody that came by, that's still here. I enjoy it. This is the kind of shit that made me want to come back when I quit. And that's why I'm kind of worried about these changes. But hopefully, man, we can figure something out, and I'll stay on YouTube and have fun with each other and talk about fucking music and just have fun, man. Because again, it's not something that I have around me here. So, but Brandon, Richie, Aaron, whoever else is here, Brandon, Funk Off, if you're still here, y'all all rock. I enjoy talking to you about everything, especially music. But yeah, thanks for coming by. Talk to you soon. Farley out.